Bueno, Franco, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So we're going to talk a little bit today about a number of things. As you know, we're recording this. Good to have somebody on the other side of the screen to talk to. Let me just share the screen here a little bit. And of course, I'm up in the top corner up here. My name is Bert Amsing. I often go by Bertie. Bertie is my legal name, but I just say Bert Amsing, or in Spanish, Alberto. But, this will be done in English. Maybe we'll put some Spanish subtitles into it. Who knows? Franco is my right-hand man over there in Miami. So, Okay, so what we're talking about right now, let me give you kind of an overview. There probably will be other videos that will talk about stuff that we're not talking about today, because there's too much to talk about, so I have to kind of get very specific. But we are talking about the City Director Program. Now, in the City Director Program, there really are two companies. There's one is called Orbit, and the other one is called GDC. So in Orbit is a company that has a digital business card. Plus, there'll be other business package products and all the rest of that. GDC is really a cooperative. GDC stands for Global Digital Cooperative, and it's a kind of an umbrella organization that has a number of interesting benefits, and we all sign up for GDC and for Orbit. But underneath GDC, it really has a couple of different products. One is Yellow Pages, another one is White Pages, another one is Ubits, which is a social program for customers of a particular business. And we have the YTC Marketplace, together with the YTC coin, which is a crypto coin, cryptocurrency. All of that I will explain later on. The main thing over on GDC is the Yellow Pages ads. So the fundamental concept of a city director is that a city director is going to offer a package of both advertising, which gets the beautiful thing about the Yellow Pages advertising is that it's a shortcut to getting people on the first page of Google. I mean, getting ranking on Google is worth its weight in gold. I mean, people pay a lot of money to get on the first page and to stay on the first page of Google for a particular keyword, and even to get into Google My Business. So being part of Yellow Pages, which has a long history, both offline and online, has a long history, and Google recognizes the weight of that history. That means that when somebody advertises with, it's actually called iYellow, with Google, and so therefore Google gives it a very high domain authority, which helps people to get their advertisements on the first page of Google for a particular keyword. And then within that advertisement is their website. So, I mean, you could try to get their website on the first page. That might or might not work. That's a different thing. But right now what we're doing is getting their advertisement in Yellow Pages on that first page, so that when people click on it, they can do a second click and go directly to their website or wherever it is that they want them to go. It's a very, very nice program. It started and grew very strong in Latin America and a couple of other places in the world, and now it's just coming into the United States, and the U.S. and Canada, and we are at the forefront of that, and so there's a bunch of money to be made. So on the iYellow, or we just say Yellow Pages side of things, the big benefit there is for very little money. I think like $150 a year, you can get page one ranking for your particular advertisement, which gives you direct access to your website. So people like that. I mean, that's because normally it would cost you probably $3,000 or $4,000 to make that happen. If you can find, people have paid a lot of money for that. But let's say you find a brother-in-law who will just do it for the cost, whatever. And let's say he only charges $1,500. Well, this is $150, so it's very, very why? Because we can do a lot of volume, right? We do a lot of volume, and so we can do it for much cheaper, and we have the whole system set up, so there's not a lot of man hours that are needed to set it all up. Whereas with the other one, the amount of work, and by the way, you'd be lucky to have it happen in 6 to 9 months to a year. And so with ours, we already have the whole system in place. It takes a lot less work, which is why we can charge a lot less money. And we charge $150 a year, and the people are very, very happy. Now, we actually give them a package. We give them also the opportunity to use Ubits, which is a application on your cell phone for their customers, to give them coupons, and it's a whole coupon type of system, discounts and coupons. And then we have the YTC Marketplace, which is kind of internal to us, which is also part of the engine of our Yellow Pages program. And so we give a package of that kind of stuff to the business owner, but we also give them on the Orbit side, which is not part of GDC. It's a sister company. On the Orbit side, we also give them another package of business, tools and software and all the rest of that. And of course, the main one there is a business card, a digital business card. Right now, we're going to talk about in the next step, right? Is the first thing we did was we signed up for Orbit. Which is also, by the way, set up as a binary, so our network marketing binary program. Which is nice because it allows us to help each other, right, to build that business. And we signed up for free there, and then we upgraded for $25, which is part of your fee that you pay for the City Director program. You don't have to pay that; that's part of the fee. And that gets paid to the pro membership, and that lasts for 6 months, and then you pay another $25 every 6 months. So it's a very minimum amount of money, but it allows you to be in the program. Now on the GDC side, it's free to join as well, but you can also upgrade there and get more benefits, and that upgrade is also paid for as part of your city manager or your city director program. And there's also some other benefits there, but we'll talk about GDC in more detail later, okay? But the first step is we sign up in Orbit and we upgrade in Orbit. And then the second step is we sign up in GDC, but we're going to upgrade a little bit later, okay? We'll upgrade in about 30 days or so. We'll upgrade to Premium. So those are the next two, the first two steps once you agree to work with me in a mentoring program with City Director program. And then the third thing that we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to the training that exists already, because there's already some training for Orbit, and there's some training for GDC, there's some training for Yellow Pages. But most of the training right now is in Spanish. The third step is going to be training, and I will give you the meeting times. And there's a very important meeting for Orbit next Tuesday that I'm going to try to get you guys to at least be there or watch the replay. I'm going to show you where to get the replays. Sign up for the Telegram accounts, for the Facebook accounts, the Instagram accounts. We're going to do all of that next week. Okay. Today I want to talk about Orbit. So, talking about Orbit, I want to go into more detail, because what we're really going to do is we're going to start focusing on Orbit to start, because you don't want to get overwhelmed, you don't want to try to learn everything. And the truth is that the Yellow Pages thing takes a little bit more time to learn. Orbit is pretty straightforward, it's fast, and you learn it, you get it going, you figure it out, and it's good for you to focus on something that's kind of easy to do. Orbit, we can start right away. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, and because anytime you start a business, it's going to take 3 to 6 months to really get going. That's just reality, because people usually do this part time, and they don't have full time to look at all of this kind of stuff. So we're going to start with part time. Now, so let me start by getting into Orbit. Let's go into the Orbit Smart Office. You say, well, where is my Orbit Smart Office? Okay, so I'm going to give you my Orbit Smart Office to start with. I'm already signed up, obviously. If you're at the point where you can go into this, you already signed up. But I'm going to go one step back, and I'm going to teach you, for the sake of the video, how to sign up people. Okay, so Orbit is a really interesting company, and we're in at exactly the right time. So this is we're just about to explode worldwide. The timing is always important in business. Now you have to work hard too. Yeah, momentum, timing, very important. So we've got timing going on right now, and so we want to take advantage of it. Now, so this is my page. I happen to be a pro member. So if I want to invite somebody specifically, go here to Team Reports. I'm going to go through all of this at some point, okay? But right now, I just want to show you right now how to sign people up. So you go to Team Reports, okay, and then I go to my visual genealogy. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff to explain with Orbit, and I will, but just not right now. I want to take everything one step at a time, okay? So yeah, baby steps, because otherwise you get overwhelmed. So right now I want to just get people signed up. So I'm actually teaching you who's already signed up how to sign up somebody new. Okay? Yeah, you're there right here, Franco Caponera. This is my wife, Veronica Van Krechten. My daughter, Michelle, is right here. I have a guy named Juan Diego Martinez who is signed up. My other daughter, Melanie, is signing up here. Franco Russo is your guy. And Santino is your guy. Santino accidentally signed up under himself, but you'll see in a few minutes that he registered twice, which is it's all right, no problem. I'm also on here twice. Yeah, I'm also on here twice. Look, I'm over here, and I'm over here, and I'm over here. So I'm on here 3 times, you know, and it's all right because that's a bit of a strategy that we're going to talk about here in a minute. When you invite somebody, you can go on here. Like, remember, I'm in Bertie Amsing. This is my account. So whoever I'm inviting is going to be direct to me. Okay? That means that they are connected to me, and I get a benefit for that because they are my directs. But wherever I put them is also a benefit for where I put them. So if I put them here, in this case I put Bertie Amsing under Franco Russo because Bertie Amsing, myself, I have the capacity for bringing on a lot of people, and so that's going to help Franco Russo. And my own position is going to help Franco Russo, and it's going to help Franco Caponera. And the same thing here, I have myself under Bertie Amsing, under Santino as well, because I'm going to help Santino, and that's also going to help Franco. Okay? So when you have 2 different colors here, one is a green color and one is a blue color. So here you can see that Juan Diego is blue. That means that he registered for free. He has not upgraded yet to Pro, which costs $25 for every 6 months. It's very, very cheap. $50 a year, so $25 every 6 months. Now, Michelle, my daughter, she's already upgraded, and so she is green. And as soon as you have 2 people, one on each side, doesn't matter if they're the first one or if they're in the second level, if they're in the third level, doesn't matter where they are. You could have free, and then paid. But as long as you have one, in this case, Franco Caponera is green, so he's paid, he's upgraded. And Veronica Van Krechten is paid, and she's upgraded. So what that means is that I'm qualified. And as soon as you're qualified, you have a box around your name. Okay? Now, in this case, Santino just didn't do his, he has the code already, the pro code for upgrading. He just hasn't done it yet. As soon as he gets home, he's going to do it. And then Franco Caponera is going to have that's you, Franco. You're going to have a box around this, and that means that you're going to be qualified. But qualified to get paid. Qualified to get paid. Okay, so that's the most important thing, but you're qualified to get paid. But the point is, it doesn't matter if it's in your first line, your first level, your second level, your third level, but somewhere in that level you need to have a paid person, and then you become qualified and you can start to get paid. Now, so there's 2 ways to get people to come here. One I consider to be specific, and the other one I consider to be general. Okay, so we're going to talk about the specific. So let's say I say to myself, okay, I have a friend and I want to put them right here underneath my daughter Michelle. Now they're going to be direct to me because I'm in Bertie Amsing's office, and if I invite them from here and I click the add new from here, then they are going to be direct to me. If I want them to be direct to Michelle, who's my daughter, I would go into, I have Michelle's password and username, and I can go into her account, and from her account I can click on add new and invite the person to come, and then it would be direct to Michelle. And there are some benefits to that as well. Okay, no problem. But at this moment, right, I want to show you how it works. So I'm going to just go and add new from my account. I'm going to add new myself. Okay, we'll talk later on why it's good to have some free positions in your own downline. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but right now we're just showing how to do it. So I'm going to add specifically, I'm in my account, and I'm going to add myself in this case instead of somebody else. I'm going to, I could add somebody else too, but I'm going to add myself because I can do that. And I'm going to click on add new, and it gives me a box. And so I put the name in there, right? In my case, Bertie, and then Amsing, and the address. Okay, so I can use the same email address for as many offices or as many positions as I want, and so this is going to send me a mail so that I can register for free, right? The first thing you do is you register for free, and then later you upgrade. You need a code to get upgraded. So you have to talk to the people who sell the codes, right, for $25 a piece for 6 months. And I happen to be one of those people. I'm what they call a local officer. Now, my local officer is for San Isidro and Mar del Plata, but I can also sell worldwide if nobody else is the local officer in that place, which in Miami there's no local officer yet, so you can just buy it from me. That's how that works. But right now, I just sent that email to myself. So now I'm going to go to my Gmail account, and I'll just show you a couple of other things. Okay, so that email will come to me, right? Or I could have sent it to some other person, and that other person would receive the email. Now, normally what I do is if I'm going to send it, an invitation to somebody, I'm going to write to them by WhatsApp and say, hey, I sent you an invitation. Open it up and register. It's free. And I'll tell you all about it later on, but just do it because he's a good friend or whatever. Or you can explain the whole thing beforehand and then send the invitation, and then they're expecting it because they understand what it's all about. Okay, it depends on on the relationship you have with the person. But for right now, because I'm talking mostly about family and friends, I can just send them an invitation and then send them a WhatsApp saying, hey, open the invitation, register, it's for free, we'll talk later. I can do that with my close friends, right? Don't worry about it. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to do anything. We're going to talk about why free is still a good idea, okay, for the business. Now, but first, right now, I just want to show you. So this is what we call adding new. Now, remember, I'm still under team report. If I want to just do not a specific, I want that person to be here. Okay, and at this position or this position or this position, that's a specific thing. I generally tend to do that more than the general way, but there is a general way to do it as well, and that is, first of all, to go to set up your strategy, right? And this is what we call spillover. Means that people who are signing up people from above you and put people in your group, that's called spillover. It comes from people above you. Now, in this particular case, spillover can also be anything coming from you. After you do two, right, or I do two, I did two already. I did Franco on one side and Vero on the other side. My third person is going to be spillover. It's going to be down to you guys. Okay, so you can have the spillover go to the left. You can have the spillover go to the right. You can have it auto balanced. At the beginning, it doesn't matter. Choose whichever one you want. I didn't choose it yet, but I'm going to choose right and then submit. Okay, but the point is that if I go and send my general link, not the specific link that I just finished showing you, but a general link, or what they call a replication link, right? Then that will go where the spillover tells it to go. It'll just go to the right, not to any place specific, but it'll just go to the next open space on the right. Okay, so it's a general thing, not a specific thing. Now you say, well, what link would I send to them? Well, you go to personal information, and on personal information, it will give you your link, and all you do is you can send that link by WhatsApp or by email or whatever you want to do. You send them the link, but this is your general link, not your specific link. Okay, so and it's basically just like a URL, right? And so they just go there and they can sign up. Okay, so if I look in here, your marketing site and your product site, and I'll talk about the difference between them in a minute. But right now, your marketing site mine is called. I put San Isidro because I happen to be the local officer of San Isidro, and I can't change it anymore. I should have just put my username, right, which was BAnsing2115. That's what I should have done. But anyway, people would have recognized it, But I made a mistake and I put San Isidro. It doesn't matter. Maybe I can change it. I don't know how to change it. But I can just copy that by clicking here, and it will copy this whole thing right here. You want the marketing one, not the product one. We'll talk about the product one later. The marketing one. And you send that link to the person, whatever person that you're talking to, right? And you say, I don't really care where he goes as long as it's on the right-hand side, because that's what my spillover goes to the right. And so if I change my mind later, I can change it to the left. I can do an auto balance. I can do whatever I want. But this is for more generic things. So this is like if you're doing a campaign, if you're advertising to a whole bunch of people, if you're putting an advertisement in Craigslist, and everybody that goes there, they just sign up for free, you know, and then they just get put wherever. You don't really care, you know, too much. Okay? So this is your generic way of doing it, right? And you can do it that way, but I prefer to do it under the team report, where you go to the visual genealogy, and this is for your people, right? If you're helping a downline, you need to be in their account, you know, because it needs to be direct to them, okay? But in this case, remember, I clicked right here to add myself to my daughter's, website, and I'll talk in a minute about why that's a good thing. But let's just go to the Gmail first, see if it's there yet. Now, the other person that gets a link, that will be a little bit of a different process. We'll look at that as well. That's a different process. But right now we're going to the email. In this case, you got an invitation email, and so I just want to walk you through that process so you understand exactly how to do that in terms of signing your people up, and then we'll talk about the strategy. And in the meantime, actually, I think I will go back here and grab the. I'm going to go up here to my personal information and grab my, I can't remember if I clicked on the thing to copy my other link, because I want to show you the general way of doing it as well. So let me just do that as well. Okay, right here. So I click on here to copy. Okay, I think it's copied already. So let's say I receive this link from Bert Amsing, you know, through some means, either whether it was email or WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. However, I receive the link. I take that link and I stick it into my browser, right? And I'm going to go there now to this website, right? And I'm going to, we're going to do the generic one first, right? The other one is taking too long, so we're going to do the generic one first. And so this is generic. It's just going to spill over to wherever, right, on the right-hand side, okay? And I'm going to sign up for the generic one, and then we're going to see where that one came. Now, just as a comment, when you're signing up yourself, which you can sign up yourself in multiple places, it's not a problem, and I'll tell you why later on, but when you sign up yourself, each new one that you do, you should have a different username. You can have the same password, you can have the same email, but you should have a different username. Okay, that's how they distinguish them. So look, this is my marketing site. It looks nice. Okay, this is my marketing site, right? And so it says here how it works. You can get more information. So this is more of a generic thing where you're saying to somebody, hey, go to the site, look around, but at some point click on register, right? Click on register. That's why I don't like this as much, because I would rather control the process a little bit more. But, for somebody who says, well, I just want to see the information first, okay, they can see the information first and then register. But it's free to register. So anyway, fast, easy, and 100% free. Join now and start enjoying the Orbit experience. You put your name in, so I'm going to put my name in, and we'll see where I end up. Bertie Amsing. Remember, I can use the same name. I can use the same email. No problem whatsoever. Join now. Right, very easy to do, but the point is you have to tell people, hey, go and click on register, right? And you can look at, and you can change the language. If you say, oh, well, I want it to be a Spanish person or whatever, they have a number of languages, but we're doing it in English. But the point is, remember to say, okay, so here's the marketing thing, and it'll give you a bunch of information about how it works, but remember, just click on register and do it, because it's free. Okay, so we have sent you an email to confirm your address, bamsing@gmail.com. So, the other way that I did it, which was specific, it was also an email that was sent to me. So I should have two emails, one generic and one specific, in my Gmail account. Okay, so let's go over there, right? Because that's what the next step is for here. So yeah, we should have two. Well, the other one might not be there yet, but we should have one for sure. Okay, so there we go. Please validate your email. This is the first one. This is the specific one. Please validate your email to be part of my Orbit 900 team, right? You don't need this. So I'm going to click on that. So this is that first email from the specific way of doing it. And this means that I will show up underneath my daughter in that specific place where I said, where it said add, They put them all. Notice this right here. It says Orbit 3. Okay, so what they did was they put the two emails in the same thread, which Google often does that. So I have to be aware of that. That sometimes the second, if I'm waiting for a second or third email, I have to look in the same one because it might all come in the same one because it comes from the same place, orbit, you know. So they often do that. In this case, I've been waiting for a second email, so that one's going to be in there. So I don't know which one I'm doing because the process should be the same. From this point onward, the process should be the same. But let's make sure we do it on both emails. I don't know why it says 3, what the third email is. Okay, so I've got, you know, I've got three messages here. I don't know why I've got 3. But if I click on one and it's not, and I already registered for it, I'll show you. Actually, it's good. It's actually good because now I can show you what happens. So I've got 3 of them. I don't know why I have 3 of them, but if one of them is from the past that I already did, okay, it'll tell me. Right, I'm going to validate my email. So it says, please validate your email to be part of my Orbit 900 team. Hi, Bertie Amsing, blah, 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 blah. Validate my email. So I click on validate my email because now it's going to ask me to register. And I don't know which one this is, but it doesn't really matter because it's the same process from here on in. It's just that one will go just to the right side and the other one is in a specific place. Okay? So that's the 2 things. Okay, so it looks like I had already clicked on it and I had already registered because I can see, look, it says there's a big sign of warning, you have already used this link to register. Okay, so you can see that this warning, you have already used this link to register. So that very first one, I suspected that, but I just wanted to show that to you. So I'm going to get out of here. But I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go to that second one and third one. Now I really don't know, you know, which one was the specific one and which one was the general one, but it doesn't matter. It's the same process, okay? And so let's just go out of here and go to the second one in the thread, and then we'll do the third one. Okay, so now we're in the second one, and I see. Oh, 2 hours ago. No, 2 hours ago is too long. Oh. I don't know. Well, maybe I used this one already too. Okay, so here we are in the Orbit registration page, and it already has my email there. It needs a cellular. They want to have your cellular, so they already has my name, Bertie Amsing. Here it's asking me, because I'm in Argentina, it's asking me for my ID type. It's actually in Spanish, tipo ID, but it's, you know, your type of ID. And of course in Argentina we do DNI. It could be a passport. Right here is a passport, right? Could be you know, some sort of a, you know, tax ID or an EIN if you're doing it as a business. You know, could be, you know, something else, SSN, which is from the United States. You know, could be different things from different countries, but for us it's a DNI, and you put in the DNI number, okay? Because I've done this before, it's already here. So my DNI is in there. Some people say, well, why do I have to have a DNI in there? But the truth is that you know, you're going to get paid sooner or later, and so they have to have your DNI. I mean, that's just a reality, and of course in Argentina, DNI is no big deal. And then here you put the country. In this case, it's Argentina. Don't worry too much about it. Just use the country that you're living in. Doesn't matter if you're a citizen of a different country or whatever. You know, whatever the country is that you happen to be living in. Like for example, in your case, Franco, you're living in Miami, so you just put Miami, right? Put your address in Miami. I have Argentina, Buenos Aires, and the city. I put, instead of Acasuso, I put San Isidro because that's kind of like the city, and Acasuso is like a suburb, you know. So I just put San Isidro, and then here's where it's important. The usuario has to be different than other usuarios that you have, and I make a little note of it. And I have, because I'm doing the strategy of multiple free positions, I'm putting this all on an Excel spreadsheet, but I'm going to talk about that more later. The password can be the same. I sometimes change it, I sometimes don't, doesn't matter. But in this case, I'll do it the same as my last one, and do it again here, because obviously Google remembers it as well. All right, so let's see. I can't remember if this one was a specific one or whether it was a general one. And I don't see the other email for the other one, although maybe it was number 2. Okay, so that's it. That was very simple. You have a username, a password, you put your DNI, the city you're in, the country you're in. They didn't even ask you for the specific address. They just need to know what kind of, you know, whether you're in Argentina or Africa or where you are. I mean, it's global, so that's all right. You can be anywhere, but the point is just tell the truth wherever it is that you happen to be residing, not where you're a citizen, just happens to be where you're living. And don't worry about tax issues, don't worry about payment issues, all of that we can modify that later and figure out the best way to do that later. You have multiple options. Okay? So now you are in your dashboard. So all of a sudden they brought you did that and it brought you to your dashboard. Now this is the dashboard of the new person. Now I happen to be the new person, right? This is the dashboard of the new person. It looks the same as everybody else's, but if I go into my team report, it's only going to have my name. It's not going to have all the rest of it, right? If I go in here to the visual genealogy, I'm going to be the only one in there because I'm brand new, right? And so it's not going to show my upline. Now, what I was saying is that this Bertie Amsing, this is the new Bertie Amsing, happens to be, the only one on this thing. That's why everybody else disappeared, because it's not the same. It's not the same position. Some people call it office, but it's not the same position as the other Bertie Amsing. If you remember, that's over here in this other tab. So if I go to this original tab, right, to this original tab, we can see where Bert Amsing landed, because we remember it was the specific one or whether it was the generic one. The generic one would go to the right somewhere, wherever there was a free spot, and the specific one was going to go to that one spot underneath my daughter, Michelle Amsing. So let's see which one it is. But this new Smart Office is for my other username. But if I go back to my original office, right? Now I'm back in my original office. I'm going to go now here to the team report, okay, with all the people. Everybody's here. Okay. Now over here, look, this was the specific one. Remember I said I wanted to put myself under Michelle, and there I am. I'm free because I'm blue. Okay, I haven't upgraded yet, and I won't upgrade this one yet, but anyway, I'm green, and so Michelle Amsing has 2. Now, she's not qualified, because she has 2, but she's not qualified, because neither one of these are paid. Actually, Juan Diego is going to get paid, and I will upgrade mine to get paid too, but I'm going to put some more people underneath her, and they will be paid ones, and then she will be qualified as well. As soon as Melanie comes in on here, then Vera will be qualified, and the idea is to start, try to qualify Franco and try to qualify Santino now, and get some people underneath them, and et cetera, and just keep building that and keep building that. Okay, so that's for the orbit side of things. Now, we're not going to go and do the generic one. It's exactly the same. It's just that will spill over. I said to the right side, so it's going to go somewhere over here, right? To the right side over here somewhere. This is one of the nice things about this particular binary program, is that you have a lot more control over where people go. And I want to talk about how do you upgrade to Pro. Remember we talked about upgrading to Pro. So on your dashboard, let's go back to the dashboard. Let's say this is Bert Amsing. I'm already upgraded, but let's say you go to your dashboard and you're not upgraded to Pro yet. You have a free account. Right here it says, congratulations, you are a Pro member. But if I wasn't a Pro member, it would say, feel free to upgrade to a Pro member, or upgrade to a Pro member now. And then you click on upgrade. The word would be upgrade here, and then it would ask you to put in a code. There are 4 letters 4 times, but you don't have to do each code differently. You just copy the whole code, and you put it in the first box, and it will put it in all the other boxes, right? So it's very, very simple. Now, where do you get that code from? You have to buy that code from wherever you are in the world. If you are in Miami, you buy it from the person who is the business owner, or what they call the local office of Orbit in Miami. Now, we don't have any in the United States yet, because it's not in the United States yet. We have paperwork to do to finish that. It's in Argentina, it's in many Latin American countries, it's in Thailand, it's in many other places, but it's not in the United States and Canada yet. Okay? Now, to talk about our business, right? So one of the things that you will be doing, Franco, because you're going to have a city in Florida, is that you have a reserve for when the local offices become available in your city. You're going to have like the first right of refusal to grab that local office. Now, there's a cost to it. You have to pay a cost every month, but by the time we get going, there'll be money, and so there's not a problem. You have to pay for things, but there's a technology fee and things like that. You have to pay for something. It's not very much. It's like $25 or $50 a month, It's not a lot of money. But you become the one that sells the pro codes. And here, if we look under codes, you can see, you can I'll show you here what it means to be a local officer. Now, I happen to be a local officer in San Isidro and Mar del Plata in Argentina. Okay, so I can just look here at my zones. You know, I can't be a local officer in Florida yet. I'm a partner for GDC in Florida and California, but I'm not a local officer for Orbit in North America because it's not officially in North America yet, so it doesn't work. So for now, I took a couple of places in Argentina so that I could be one that sells the pro memberships, as well as on the product side, we have a free digital business card. We have a national digital business card, and we have an international digital business card. Each one has different benefits and have different, features and so on. We'll talk about that another day. So I, as a local officer, I can sell the business cards, the upgrades to the business cards, and I can sell an upgrade to the pro membership. Okay, so here, for example, you can see that I am a local office. Right up here, I have local offices. When you go into yours, it won't even show up. The local officer won't show up unless you are a local officer, right? Now you can become one, and so if I want to be a local officer, we'll go now into the local officer website for San Isidro. If I want to go into the one for Mar del Plata, I go here. So I just click ingresar, which means enter. For those who might be listening to this who don't know Spanish. And so I can go in there, and I have codes, and I have information, and all the rest of it as a seller of codes. Now, you as a person who's not a local office, you'll become one, but right now you're not a local office. You will be buying codes from me, right? All of our people will be buying codes from me until you become a local officer, and then they will be buying codes from you. Okay. And the same thing with Franco and Santino. I don't need to show that all to you. We can do that another day. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back to, let's get out of here and go back to the team report. So let me just give you 5 minutes of strategy. You asked me a good question the other day, Franco. You said, well, how is it of any benefit to us that people get in for free? Now, here's the thing you have to remember. This is good timing. We're in a ground floor opportunity. Orbit is just getting started. We're just going into the English world. Yeah, it's not too bad already in Latin America. It's growing very, very well. It's got some history, but it's really starting to explode worldwide. I mean, a lot of people are coming on board. A lot of things are happening. It's really quite exciting. And it's a great product to offer our business people. Now, don't forget that our fundamental business model is that we are going to be selling Yellow Pages shortcut to Google ranking. That's what we're selling. We're selling a Yellow Pages shortcut to Google ranking for very little money. That's it in a nutshell. Now, we have other additions to that. Orbit is an addition to that. Orbit's a great product. Lots of people like to have a digital business card. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing to have a digital business card. And I use it myself, and I find it very interesting and very convenient. And I showed it to you earlier. And so that's good. Now, you say, so in the future, when you and I are running a city in Florida, and we make an offer to a businessman to do his Google ranking for $150, I mean, give me a break, that's very cheap. Part of the package there is that he signs up for GDC for free, so that he gets all the benefits of the GDC co-op, and he signs up for Orbit for free in order to get a free digital business card. The basic digital business card is free. He gets it as he signs up. Okay? When he signs up, he gets a free position. Now, he might forget about it. He might forget about it completely. And as we are growing the business, we have bringing on more and more people. Some people will be interested, some people will not. Lots of people will have free positions. But the thing is that as we grow and we get more and more people, because right now we're at 4,000, you know, I 3,798 and you are 4,234. How much time passed between those two? What, 1 day, 2 days? And look how many. That's 200, 300, 434 people came in on board between me and you. And we were pretty quick one after the other, okay? And so that's 400 people in what? Give it a week, okay? And it's growing faster, and it's growing faster, it's growing faster. So my point to you is that in 6 months, we could be at 20 or 30 or 40 or 50,000 people. Now, all those people, right? Not all those people, but many of those people can be under us. Now, many of them will be free, but also many of them will be paid because they will be paying for it together with their ad spend. Because I haven't decided yet, but we will probably be charging them not 150, but we may be charging them 200, which also gives them 2 payments of $25 and $25 for being part of Orbit, right? So I have to see exactly how we do this. But you know, it'll be a package deal because for people in the United States, $200 for becoming ranked in Google is cheap as Boris, and then they become also part of Orbit. They get a nice business card with that, and they can learn how to use that, and so on and so forth. So it depends on how you do the packaging. But however we do the packaging, in the future we will be sending emails to all of these people to say, hey, do you realize that you have 433 people in your group already? And that if you upgrade to Pro for $25, in the next cycle you'll probably make $300? How many people would spend $25 to make $300? A lot. A lot of them. But the point is that if they're not positioned early, right, then they're not going to have a whole bunch of people underneath them. So regardless of whether they buy today, I don't care if they buy today. That's nice. That means they're building the business. What I care about is that they have a position so that they're in a position to benefit in the future from all this work that we're doing. And I especially feel that way about my family and friends. So, you know, my wife is not going to build this business, but, you know, she's my wife. I want her to have a benefit, so I make sure she has a position. And my daughter, Michelle, I want her to have a benefit. And Melanie, I want her to have a benefit, right? You guys, you're my business friends, but, you know, you're going to have a benefit, but you're also going to work. In the case of these guys, they're not going to probably do much. I'll be doing the work more over here. I'll be putting people in here because I'm pretty good at this kind of stuff, and I could just put a bunch of people in there. And but for my family and friends, everybody that trusts me enough to get a free position, I'm getting them a free position. And they will thank me later. And some of them will pay for it and start to do some work and invite their own people later on. Okay? It doesn't have to be right away. It can be later on. This is something that grows. But as soon as they have, you know, 200, 300, 400 people underneath them, they would be fools not to spend $25 every 6 months in order to make $300 every month. And we will be sending them emails to keep them up to date and say, hey, this is your situation. You know, would you like to upgrade? And many people will say, yeah, I want to upgrade. What's this all about, Bert? And I will invite them to a meeting. They will see the presentation, and they will realize, holy Toledo, I could spend $25 every 6 months, and I could make $300 a month. As an example, depending on how many people have. So that's the strategy. My suggestion is you get as many of your family and friends in as possible who will listen to you. And those who don't listen to you, fine, maybe they'll listen to you later on. But always get as many free positions as you can using either the specific or the generic. Doesn't matter which way you do it, but get them signed up. And then later on you can explain it to them and all that. That's the strategy. Now, let me add to that the free strategy. Now, should Franco Capanera also have some more free positions of his own? Well, yeah. Why would you not want to have all those people that we're going to be bringing on board later on? Why would you not want to have more than one position? You know? By the way, you don't know this right now yet, but each position has a maximum of $1,000 per week. Okay? Yeah, well, that's still good money. That's $4,000 a month. But if you have 2 positions or 3 positions, especially at the beginning, now what I would do is I would give yourself a couple of different positions. You should have at least 2 or 3 positions. Okay, One paid and the other one's for free for now. Later on, you'll upgrade them once there's a group underneath there. Then you'll upgrade them then. Okay, but for now, put yourself, for example, here under Franco Russo, or here under Santino, down here. Do one for each of them, and then you have this one and one underneath somebody else, right? And just leave them for free for right now, and follow the same process. Just go into your account and add new and add yourself. Remember to change the username. Everything else can be the same, but change the username. Okay, and then you will show up here, and you will show up here, and away you go. Okay, and then you have 3 positions. So I suggest everybody have at least 3 positions to start with. I'm actually going to stop the video right here because I think we covered over most of the information, and we will do another one the next time we get together. Hey, good talking to you, Franco. We'll see you later. Have a good time at the gym. All right, bye-bye.
Okay. Okay, I'll do it. Okay. All right. Yeah. You too. See. Bye bye.